Hi, this is Mrs. Williams, and this is problem 9.1.D-13. It says a rectangular sludge bed, gross, measuring 70 feet by 120 feet is filled to a depth of 2 feet. So that's my fancy sludge bed that I have drawn here. If a truck with a capacity of 4 cubic yards is used to haul away the sludge, how many trips must the truck make to empty the sludge bed? So what we want to do first is find the volume of the sludge. That's going to be how much sludge we have total. And the truck is going to be hauling it away in little pieces. So it wouldn't actually be cut out like this, but you can think of it visually. Let me try to sketch. It would be, you're going to cut out, haul away the sludge in little 4 cubic yard increments. So maybe you take, if that's a 4 cubic yards, that little red box, that part of the sludge will be gone with the first trip. And then on the next trip, you're going to take 4 more cubic yards. So this rectangular sludge bed gets broken into little sections. So really what we're going to do after we find the volume of the rectangular sludge bed, the total volume, is we're going to divide it by 4 because you're just breaking it into, you're kind of visually thinking of it as 4 cubic yard sections, 4 little, or just a bunch of little cubes that are size 4 cubic yards. And that's what the truck represents. Okay? So first let's find the volume. So to find the volume of a rectangular prism or this rectangular sludge bed, we want to do length times width times height. So we would do 120 feet times 70 feet times 2 feet. And I keep the units in there because if you notice, the units will multiply together just like the numbers do. So I'm going to multiply 120, 70, and 2. But the units, feet times feet times feet, are cubic feet. And so that's just a good way to verify that you are doing it correctly. At least one indicator is that you should be getting a cubic amount because we're looking for volume. So now, like I said, we're going to take the 4 cubic yards and divide it. The only problem is we do have one thing we have to do first, which is get the same units. So here we have feet cubed, here we have yards cubed. So cubic yards, yards cubed, that's the same thing there. So what we need to do first is we need to convert the 16,800 cubic feet using unity fractions, dimensional analysis from module 3. And we know, and you can look these up, but there's 1 cubic foot is the same as 0.037037 cubic yards. So remember, with dimensional analysis, I know that to arrange my unity fraction this way because my units will help me out. I want 1 unit in the top and 1 unit in the bottom so that they cancel. So I can just verify that that is the correct way by checking my units, making sure that they cancel. And now all I have to do is multiply 16,800 by 0.037037, and I get 622.2216. And I'm not going to round yet. I'm kind of smushing it in there, but that's cubic yards there. Because I don't want too much rounding error. So I'm going to keep all the decimals. And now, like I said, that is, so in other words, the total volume of this sludge in cubic yards is 622.2216, and then we want to divide it into these little 4 cubic yard sections that we're going to put into the truck to haul it away. So how many trips will it have to make? Well, it's going to take one of those cubes away each time. So if I divide it by the capacity of the truck, that's going to tell me how many trips it's going to have to make. So this comes out to 155.55. I could keep going a couple more, but it really doesn't matter because in order to haul all this away, if you think in terms of trips, he's not going to make half a trip. Okay, so this part of that number doesn't really make sense for this type of problem. We would need to go ahead and round it up to the total of whole number of trips that truck would have to make. So 156 trips to haul all the sludge away.